The second word that God gave me was the word principled leadership. I realized that our leaders on the continent were not leading from principle. I realized that there were men who were hungry for gain, that their leadership, whether you were talking about politics or whether you're talking about the church, whether you're talking about the family, didn't have principle that was clearly stated, and therefore they could not be held accountable for their actions. I seem to hear the Lord say to me that we need men and women who'd rather be hungry, would rather go hungry than steal. Men and women who understand what it is to have deferred gratification. Men and women who stand on principles, values that are well articulated and will not violate those values, and would rather step down from leadership if they violated those values. Principled leadership. If we were to resurrect the African spirit, it was crucial that we got back to, stated values and that guided, our leadership. The challenge still stands today. We would rather talk about the region of the country we come from. We would rather talk about our exploits during the liberation struggle and how we contributed to liberation, but not principle. The modern world is not going to be led by memories of the past. It's going to be led by understanding what the future looks like, and particularly understanding the place of science, the place of technology, the place of principle. There are now benchmarks upon which the world operates, and unless we understand how to relate to the rest of the world based on those benchmarks, Africa is going to be left behind. Unless we understand the value of time, and we understand that the world doesn't owe us anything, but has a drumbeat of its own that we must attune ourselves to, and realize the principles on which the modern world runs, the 21st century runs, we are going to be left way behind. And therefore, to resurrect the African spirit, we need to talk about our principles as Africans. What principles are we running on personally, in our personal life, in our churches, in our societies, in our politics, in our business worlds? What principles are we running on? The issue of identity was number one. The issue of principled leadership was number two. My name is Ngwiza Mnkandla. I'm talking about resurrecting the African spirit. Stay with me.